Hello, hello. Welcome to Unleashed Speaking. I'm so excited you guys are here. I often work with these mission-driven, big-hearted, purposeful entrepreneurs of all different types who are frustrated trying to get their work out into the world. And they really aren't making the money they want. They aren't sharing their true purpose. Maybe they're doing something close to it, but it's not really that exact thing that they know they're meant to do. And I believe that there's probably a few of you in this training today that I can make a difference for, because I love working with those kind of people. And we're going to talk about that today. And here's the problem. It's scary to share who you really are. And a lot of times people just really aren't sharing the truth so that other people, the people who need them, can find them, right? So a common problem is people look to formulas, courses, tactics, what other people are doing to create your talk or to create your message. And your business suffers as a result, because just because it works for one person doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So what I commonly see is that people don't really have a messaging problem. They don't really have a marketing problem. What's going on is they have a problem expressing themselves. They have a problem really sharing the truth of who they are. But here's the thing, you guys, being clear and grounded in who you are and knowing and sharing what you stand for, that is the most important first step to a successful business. Every successful company knows this. They understand their brand values. They understand their stand. I mean, look at successful, like Apple is what? They just crossed $1 trillion. You can look into Apple's marketing, and they're going to talk about their values, their core values, what they stand for. They stand for connection. They stand for innovation. A lot of times as entrepreneurs, we don't take the time to understand who we are so we can brand ourselves uniquely in the market and reach the people who would just fall in love with us. And so today we're going to talk about speaking, but I have to give you that first little piece underneath, and I'll go ahead and start my little, hold on here, steps. All right. So your first step, as I'm referring to, is to know your why. You must know your why. How many of you remember the moment that you decided to do the business that you're now doing? You decided you're going to start this business. Type in the comments like me, I remember. And then I want you to really, Barb, I know, right? It's so frustrating. Excuse me, you guys, I have some allergies, so I'm going to drink some water and go back to the training. So what is it that had you choose this specific business? Of all the things you could do in the world, what had you choose whatever you're doing right now? Just one or two words. Type that in and let me know. Oh, I love I can see the comments over here. I do remember. Awesome. So what was it? I know there's a little lag between the time I ask a question and the comments come in. And so just type those in. But here's the thing. The number one reason that people listen to talks is to see things in a new way, a way that solves a problem that they're facing. So it's really important for us as entrepreneurs to know what our why is, right? You have to know what your core value is and what your core values are and what that big why is for you. So that's the very first step. And that's what I'm asking you right now. Why did you choose this? What was it that you overcame or that you felt passionate to share? Go deep into who. Here's some comments. Let's see if I can. I guess that BeLive said that your comments won't show the name or picture. So sorry, it just says comment from viewer. Now, how disconnected is that? Anyway, I discovered that I'm really good at something that I thought everyone else knows how to do, but apparently they don't. You know, that's such a great comment. I'll see if I can see who said that over here on Facebook. I've got it open as well, because it's not showing us on BeLive. But here's the thing. That is a clue. Anytime you feel like, oh, everybody can do that, like, oh, that's just natural for me, that's your gold. That's the thing. The thing that comes easiest to you is the thing that you must charge the most for. Like, that's a brain twister, right? Because that's not what we're taught. You have to work hard for money. No. Flip that. The thing that is easiest and most natural to you is your gift. And that's the thing that people want from you and that they will value at the highest. So that's a great comment. Thank you. And then we've got, I love helping social needs kids. Yes, yes, yes. That's Joyce. I can see you over here on Facebook. And so you're passionate about that, right? And so I'm going to teach you today how to address the problem and create that transformation that your viewers, your audience is seeking. Remember, I said that the number one reason people go to talks is they want to see things in a different way. They're looking for a solution to a problem. And so when we do what I'm about to teach you, it really ignites your audience. And that's why it's so easy to make sales and close the room when you're coming from your why. So the second step, you first have to know your why. Oh, let's see. Barb says something too. Let's take a look at this one. Because I screwed up relationships so bad for so long and knew I could offer incredible insight and tools to help get them out of the same pain. Yes, 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 yes. And so we get to go deeper into that, and I'll coach you guys a little bit on what's really underneath that. We were starting to do some of that in the group earlier, and I'm going to keep this group open for a little bit. The training's going to be here for a week, and then we're going to pull it down. But I'm happy to coach you through finding the deeper meaning, finding the why, and some of the things that I'm going to be teaching you here as well. So the second step, once you know your why, is really knowing the problem that as they see it and clearly stating it. So you tap into where they're at, how they see it, and then you show them there's a different way. And this is called a reframe. And this is really powerful, you guys. So my example, I just said it at the beginning of this, is that people don't have a marketing problem. They don't have a funnel problem. They don't have a problem, growing their business. They have a self-expression problem. They aren't sharing who they really are in the world, and people can feel it. People can feel that something's kind of off. And so that's what I help people do, is express who they are. It's the scariest thing you'll ever do. So there's a lot of mindset that is involved. There's a lot of seeing yourself, self-awareness. So what is that for you? What is the reframe, right? So the problem, like Barb was just talking about, she went through all of it. She learned so much about relationships. So what are they seeing? Maybe they're seeing, I always choose the wrong people, or I really suck at relationships. But there's something underneath that, Barb. Like, what is your number one core value? What is your stand on this? Maybe it's connection. I don't know, but I'm going to make up an example for you right now. Like, if Barb's core value is connection, then she says to people, people come to me all the time and they feel like they're not good at relationships, or they feel like they attract the wrong people, or the same pattern keeps repeating itself. And they think that it's about relationships, but they don't have a relationship problem. They have a connection problem. And the connection problem is the lack of connection with themselves. They don't really understand who they are. They don't understand their value. They don't bring all of them out in the world. And so people, the right partners, can't find them. So I just kind of made that up kind of based on my own stand, right, with business, but I transferred it over to your relationships, Barb. And so here's the thing, you guys, people buy on emotion and we justify it with logic. So we need to resonate we need an emotional connection that resonates with our prospects so they really get who we are. And then they're just like, I got to work with you. I mean, I have had people come up after a talk. One woman stood in line for about 25 minutes. And she walked up to me and gave me her American Express card and said, whatever your highest level program is, sign me up. Who does that? People who trust you, who feel connected to you, who know in their heart that you can help them, right? But that doesn't happen from, yeah, I do have some funnels. I'm not saying, don't get a funnel, don't follow formulas, don't follow strategy. Those are all things that work and they're important, but they're not important at all if you don't have this piece. So people are trying to apply funnels and trainings and strategy on top of a foundation that's built in sand, and then they wonder why their business doesn't grow and somebody else is dead. It's this piece, you guys. So let's see what you guys are saying. I've had a very turbulent life and can help others find grounding and calming during massive change. Holly, that is so powerful, right? Change, and I could go off on a whole rant about that because it's how we see it, right? And the turbulence you experience, all of that pain you went through can be turned into gold and a gift for other people. And that's where people will just line up to hear your talk and hear you and work with you. So know the problem. Let me go through this step again. Know the problem as your prospective client sees it, right? Like for Holly, she's saying she could help others find grounding and calm during massive change. So the problem as they see it is maybe they're overwhelmed by all the chaos, all the change that's happening, right? Or I'm not sure, Holly, but look at that problem from their perspective and then do a reframe and help them see this isn't about the change that's happening in your life. It's about your own capability to manage your energy, to ground yourself, to remember who you are, to, let's see what you said, grounding and calm, to how to remain calm, how to tap into that. And when you start talking about that, Holly, then that's exactly what they want, right? Oh my gosh, I haven't been calm in forever. Or is it possible to be grounded in the face of chaos and the conflict? Like it's a reframe and it's a new way of seeing something, which is why people come to your talks. So it's important to go a little bit deeper and really dive into your why, your personal experience, who you are. And that's how you can create these talks that easily convert. All right, so let's go on to step 3. Let me see what you guys are saying first. And because I want more love and connection in this world, yes, right? Because she wants more love and connection in the world. That's your platform. That's what you stand for. And let me just tell you, when we get to this deep level, like when I work with clients, I get them to their number 1 core value, which is it's like the floor of your platform, and your 4 supporting values, which when those 4 are strong and support number 1, you're just on fire. That's your stand. And so what I want you to get about what she just said is that I want more connection in the world. So here's the thing. Whatever your business is, whether you're a speaker, a coach, a service provider of some sort, that's not your business. You are in the business of connection. When you start selling connection, when you start standing for connection, when your talk oozes connection, people they'll say to you, this is what I hear all the time. I don't know what it was, something about you. I just knew you were the person that I wanted to work with. It's resonance, it's connection, right? So that's really cool that you know that. And then I'm going to encourage you to really just bring that out and stand for it. Let's see what else we've got. Mine too. I wish I could see your names on here. I guess BeLive's having a problem. I have a few things that move me. Then what? Oh, that's a great question. I wonder who said that. Let me see if I can look over here. The comments. Hold on, maybe I have to click on, no, I can't see all the comments on Facebook. So I can't see your name, but I'll just go back over. Someone said that they have a few things that really move them. So what do? I'm going to give you one of the tools that I use in my training, Purpose to Profit, where I'm helping people get really clear on their values. And it's kind of not fun sometimes because our values are so important to us. And anytime we're experiencing joy, one or more of our top 5 core values is being honored. Anytime we're feeling frustrated, stuck, they're being dishonored. So here's what you do. You write down a couple things. Like, let's say, so for me, I'll use myself as an example. So number 1 and number 2 for me are self-expression and freedom. They're so close. And so I would say out loud, if I could have self-expression or freedom, but not both, I would have, and it makes me nervous even to consider such a horrific concept, but that's how it's supposed to make you feel. And then like I have to go into, well, as long as I could express myself, even if I wasn't free, I feel like I could share in the world. But then, I can argue both sides of it because those are number 1 and number 2. And so what that means is the Entrepreneur Unleashed, my company, helps people express who they are so they can create freedom. We help people create the freedom to express themselves, to get over all the fear, because it is a big deal when you're sharing your truth. Like everything expands. Your ability to make an impact expands. Your doubts expand. Like, whew. So that's what we do. And it all comes down to my values. So that's how you get clear on which one they are once you've filtered it down. Let's see. What else? I love seeing women owning their power. I think I'm going the wrong way. Okay. Here we go. Feeling stuck, living a life they've outgrown, and sensing their soul ready to be set free, to create, to play, to serve. There's some values right there. Create, that's creativity. Play, that's fun. That's, probably fun or adventure. To serve, that's contribution. Those are the things you stand for. That's what your business platform is built on. Okay, well, I'm going to stop for there and then I'll come back. I'm one of your people. Oh, Carrie, thank you for putting your name there since I can't see it. I appreciate that. Of course you would. You're so good at that stuff. I'm not sure if you're talking to me or one of the other examples I was using, but I'm glad you guys are connecting in here and, connect with each other, because this community is a powerful community of purpose-driven entrepreneurs of all different types, and we can all do better together. All right, so where am I? Know your problem, know your why, the problem, and then the training. So step 3. Okay, so you've sort of woken them up to this new concept by sharing your why. You've tapped into the problem they had and you're starting to reframe it. And now we're going to move into the actual content, the training part. And that is, you want your training to be 3 to 5 steps, depending on the length of time you have. Now, I used the example of speaking a few weeks ago, and I only had 15 minutes. So I just did 3 steps, right? Real quickly. So depending on how much time you have, and also you kind of get to make a choice here. Like if you have an hour, you could go deep into 3 steps. Maybe your program, your whatever you're offering has more steps to it, but you could go deep into maybe 3 of them. Or you could just give a little sample of, up to 7. I wouldn't do more than 7, but just give people real value. Just give them steps to go through, a process that they can follow. And this is really important. The training, the content proves your why. You guys have to get that. I'm going to say it again. Your content proves your why. My content proves self-expression. who was it that had the connection value? That's what your content proves. That the problem they have, like go back to Barb, right? I think Barb had a connection. Or no, I think I just made that up as an example because she's really good with relationships. So her training, if connection was her core value, that's what it proves. I use the example of you don't have a problem with relationships or finding the right person. You don't suck at relationships. You haven't understood how powerful connection is. The problem is connection, and the first person for you to connect with is yourself, right? That's what, and so now I'm going to show you, here's the steps. So the steps in the training, the content proves the why. It's a little different way of looking at it. But remember, people buy on emotion and justify it with logic. And so you're creating that emotional connection to connection or to whatever your why is. So type in, what's your offer? I'm curious about what you guys offer. And because we're going to move into that here in just a minute. So you've delivered your training, you're delivering your content, and then we're going to move into, okay, now I'm going to make an offer for people. So tell me what you guys are selling, what you would offer. Let's see. I'll give it a minute. Thank you, whoever typed that in. Your content proves your why. That was quite helpful. I don't know why I can't see the comments on Facebook. It says there's 39 comments. Barb, good. You're getting to the bottom of this quicker than anyone ever has that I've worked with. That's because my gift is self-expression. So I'm really good at helping people with their messaging. I mean, I know how to, like, I have a computer science degree and a marketing degree and all these degrees, right? I know how to do funnels, and I was doing that for a while. And then it's like, why don't you just tap in and do what you're really meant to do? And so that's what, that's what you can do too, Barb. Can you share your 3 points you use from your talks as an example? Oh yeah, sure. I've got my talk right here. So it's similar to this. Like the talk that I just gave, I was speaking at a coaches group, of San Diego Professional Coaches Alliance. And so I was speaking specifically to coaches. And I shared that, first of all, the same thing step one, this is step one in all my trainings, know your why, like know who you are, know what your stand is. And then step 2 for me was know your story, which I'm going to talk about. Actually, this leads right into it. I'm going to be sharing a little bit about knowing your story. And then step 3 for me in that talk was to be unapologetically bold, to really stand. And that was it. And if you guys, not everybody knows my business, but that's exactly what I do. Whether it be my year-long mastermind program, a training, a workshop, a retreat, that's basically the gist of what I do. I help people understand who they are, what their why is, why they have that why, their story, what they overcame, and create it in a way that they feel comfortable and vulnerable sharing it live. And then, okay, now that you're doing that, let's get you out there and like just be seen everywhere. Be unapologetically bold. Be willing to be seen. Be willing to be vulnerable. And so those are the steps that I shared. Hopefully that helps. That was Carolyn who typed in your content proves your why. Thank you, Carolyn. She says, I sold an 8-week soul life transformation and knocked it out of the park. Then fear closed me down. Was it a one-time wonder? Yeah, isn't that so interesting, you guys? Because when we're aligned and we're being real, my tagline for my company, be real, take a stand, change lives. The be real part, like it's powerful and it's a lot. It's a lot. There's no plan B. There's no hedging, right? Like it's me. This is me. This is all of me. And so we'll put it out and people are like, yeah. And then our mind gets involved and is like, who do you think you are? That was probably just a mistake. Like you should probably be following a formula. Like all this stuff goes on in our mind, right? So we have to learn to train our brain. Our brain exists to give our unconscious mind instructions. I won't go into that today, but I'm going to be doing these trainings every week, I think. And so I'll talk about unconscious programming and all that stuff that's required, in my belief, when you're playing full on like this, because all of the doubts and stuff get stronger too. So we have to know how to train our brain. So probably that's what happened. It sounds like you said you knocked it out of the park. Excuse me. And then I don't know what you were thinking, but what I would say is whatever you sold, that's it. Like, do it again. Whip up a talk and go out there and sell it again. All right. So Jacqueline says, I offer ways for women to unravel their relationship with their homes so that their homes and their tending of them, like housework, become an ally in their reinvention rather than a saboteur and energy suck. I love that. Human beings always adapt to their environments. And so, environmental design is so powerful. That's amazing. Okay, so let me come back over here and let's talk about the transition. So you've shared your why, you've described their problem, you've reframed it into something that they can, that kind of makes them go, huh, right? That sounds right. And then you've delivered your content. So the next piece, step 4, is the transition. All right. So the transition goes like this. After you've shared your training, you let your audience know you can help them. A lot of times people sort of pull back and cross their fingers oh, that was really good. I hope somebody wants to work with me. No, you have to stay with them. And you say something like this. At this point, you already know, insert whatever you trained. Like I would say, at this point, you already know what I stand for. You already know my values. And if you're going to get, and then insert the results, health, business, relationship, whatever. So I would say, if you're going to grow this business to where you want it, you're going to need some help. So I would like to be that help for you. I mean, it's just that direct. It's easy, right? So you would say, at this point, you already know that I teach. I'm going to go back to Barb's made up example. At this point, you already know that connection is the key to relationships. And if you're going to really have the relationships that you want with your kids, with your family, with your coworkers, with your clients, with your team, you're going to need some help. And I'd like to be that help for you. That's it, you guys. Just say that or something like it. You can tweak it if you want. But what the power of this is, you're saying, I want to help you. You know this. I've shown you what I know. You know the problem you have, and you need some help. If you didn't need help, you wouldn't be stuck, right? If you were getting the results you wanted, we wouldn't be talking about this stuff. So I know you need help, and I would like to be that for you. Thank you, Karen. You guys are so awesome. I love how you are putting this in for other people. That's great. All right, so then this is called the transition. So you're transitioning from the training and into your offer, which we're going to talk about next. You guys have any questions about that part? Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, you're typing it in. So I think you've got it. All right. And we'll have some Q&A at the end. So the next step is the offer. All right. And this is really easy. It's not like, this is where a lot of people shift their energy. They're like, oh no, now I have to make the offer. Okay, I have an 8-module course that is delivered twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays for 60 minutes. And it comes with PDFs. And it's $9.97. If you want it, here's the link. That's not an offer. Thankfully, we don't have to do that. So here's what you get to say. If you join, so I'll use I have a breakthrough group. That's what I sold at this last talk. So I would say if you join my breakthrough group, you are going to get, and then I would enter the solution to their problem, right? You are going, so my talk was called Monetize Your Message. So I said, you are going to get coaching to monetize your message. And today only, now this is bonuses. That's it. This is really easy. If you go into my insert, whatever your program's called, you're going to get results doing the thing that had you get to the talk, right? My talk was Monetize Your Message. You're going to get coaching to monetize your message. So what is that for you? You're going to get coaching to create powerful relationships, right? And then I want you guys to think about some bonuses. What? A cat or seagulls? What are you guys talking about that? Hi, Brenda. Okay, so what are the bonuses? So who do you want to contribute to? So I'm a single mom. I raised my kids. We can talk about the story. I didn't put that in, but I'm going to illustrate a story for you guys that you can put into the training if we have time. But I'm a single mom. I raised my kids on my own. Created well, I'll tell you the story later. But anyway, so I stand for single moms. I stand for coaches. The coaching industry has been so good to me. I've been in the coaching industry for 15 years. I love Thomas Leonard. I love the ICF. I love coaching, right? And so when I'm speaking with coaches, I'll offer them a 10% discount, or single moms. I'll offer them a 10% discount. A single mom who wants to start a business, that's me. That's how I did life, right? So I have a passion for that. I want to help them. So one of my bonuses could be some sort of a discount today only at the talk. So I'm offering a 10% discount for coaches, is what I said at the coaching group. And then what are some things that complement your training? So I offer a Train Your Brain planning journal, which teaches people how to keep ahead of their negative limiting beliefs. And then I also offer a Hire Your Overseas VA for under $200 a month bonus training, which I'm going to be teaching in a couple of weeks here on Facebook again, because it's really popular. But I can add that as a bonus, right? Because what I know is once your business starts taking off, the next problem is things start falling through the cracks because they weren't prepared with the structure underneath them. So I give them that. I give them a ticket to my Unleash retreat. So that's like a couple $1,000s worth of bonuses, and they complement my training. You don't want to add things that don't complement, right? And you want to try to add things that don't require your time. So not like, oh, I'm going to give you a VIP day, right? We want to create trainings, journals, whatever, that you can use again and again and again in the future. All right, so that's it for the offer. You just simply say, if you go into my program, you're going to get this, and I'm offering today only a 10% discount, a Train Your Brain journal, planning journal, the VA training, and then you stop. So that's the offer. Now there's one more step. I wish I could read your comments. You guys look like you're having a lot of fun over there. Step 6 is the close. And that, so we've done the transition, right? From the training into the, I want to help you. We've talked about the offer, like what you want for them. And then the last thing is the close. And this is a lot of times people leave this out. Like they'll say, here's everything. If you want more information, let me know, or go to this URL or whatever. What I want you to say is you give them an instruction. You give them something to do. and you tie it to the story, to some sort of story. So here's what I say. I'll never forget the first time I spoke to an audience and sold out my program. That's a story, right? That's an experience I had that I'll never forget because I was like, what just happened? Somebody else said they had that happen too, right? So you think of a story. I'll never forget the first time I spoke to an audience and had unscripted and sold out my first program, my program. Now it's your turn. Do you see that? Right? I'll never forget the first time I spoke to an audience unscripted from my heart and sold out my program. Now it's your turn. I'll be at the back of the room. That's it. Or I'll be at my booth or, wherever. That's it. That's an emotional connection. People are like, I want that story. Right? Okay. You guys are doing such an awesome job. Carolyn, thank you for keeping everybody informed of the highlights. I appreciate it. Are you asking? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Were you asking me if I have a puppy playing with a squeaky toy? Who was that? I can't see on VLive. I have a Finch in the other room. It probably sounds like a puppy playing with a squeaky toy. That's hilarious. Gurus do make it a little complicated. It's because when we're trying to teach people to do something following a system rather than customizing it for themselves, it just doesn't really work. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about seeding and I want to talk about stories. Okay. So let's start with stories. During your training, you can, I'll second that nomination, Holly. Carolyn, you're officially voted in as the secretary. Stories. So speak from your heart. I really don't. I'll never forget. Here I go. When I first shared my story, because it's so deep in me that I often cry. Like I have to, it's okay if you get a tear or two, but I'm like, okay, pull it back in, Patty, because it's so important to me, right? And so sharing that vulnerably on stage at first, even the last time I did it, and I've been doing it for a long time, you feel it, you kind of can shake and stuff. And so just be willing, and think about how much of your story you're willing to share and how your story can really resonate with your audience. So the story I share is breaking six figures. Nobody in my family had ever made that much money. I was, I overcame a lot. So I had lost my home. I had lost my husband. I have 4 children. And I had just started my coaching business. And I had 3 clients who were paying me $250 a month back in the day. They were on 3-month contracts that were 2/3 of the way done. So I had $750 coming in next month. And I decided that I would do the impossible. I would believe in myself and bet on my future. So I packed up a U-Haul. See, I'm starting to get emotional already, and I've told this a lot of times. I packed up a U-Haul and I moved my kids to the most prosperous city in the state, 100 miles away from the place I'd always called home. I put them in the best school district in the state. I fell in love with this little town. It's called Lake Oswego. I was living in Eugene. I found Lake Oswego and I was like, oh my gosh, not only am I going to get my kids in the school district, but we're going to live here, but we're going to live on the lake. I mean, I got $750 coming in, right? I negotiated on a payment plan my first month's rent. I don't know how. I decided to do the impossible. When you decide to do the impossible, you get bold. And then I decided that, because here's the bottom line, you guys. I made a promise to those children the first time I held them in my hands, and I was not backing down on it. So I was willing to go all in. And so here I am, I got moved in, and I had the rest of the month's rent to pay, and the next month's coming up, and all the things, right? It's not cheap to live in Lake Oswego. So I was like, I'm a speaker. I'm just going to speak. I'm going to teach people how to believe in themselves. I'm going to teach people how to set intentions and reach them. That's what I was really good at. And so I just started booking myself as a speaker. I just picked up the phone and called networking groups. I have this motto: anywhere 2 or more women are gathered in a bathroom, there I shall speak. This is my speaking training, right? Like, okay. And it took me about 14 months to break 6 figures. That was in 2005. And I never looked back. Like, I just spoke. I spoke from my heart. I did exactly what I just taught you. I shared my story. And, you know, it makes you real. No, I'm not somebody who just had a lot of money and now somebody stuck me on their stage, right? I made this happen, and you can make what you want to have happen in your life too. That's what I stood for. So that, if you can weave a story like that about what you overcame, Barb shared hers, like having relationships, challenges, like choose a moment. It doesn't have to be long. Like mine wasn't very long. And just share it with people because they trust you. And they're like, oh my gosh, like I have a lot of single moms come to me to grow businesses, right? They're like, if she could do it, maybe I can do it. So think of, not losing it on stage. Karen, it's like, when I say the part, like I decided that my children would have the life that I promised them when I first held them in my hands. Like even now you can hear my voice. Like I'm like, okay, pull it back. Yeah, we know you love your kids, and you did. And now I've done it. My youngest is off to college and I moved to the beach. And so it's even like, it's just even more impactful for me, right? So yeah, it's okay to get teary-eyed. You just don't want to start blubbering and have to leave. So you just got to kind of manage your mind, right? Brenda. And that's when I had the honor to meet Patty. I've done masterminds with her, and she's fabulous. Oh, heart-centered and real. She helped me stretch myself, process what my heart's desire was, and how to well monetize my message. I love you, Brenda. Oh my gosh, it's been quite a few years. You're making me cry. Speaking about taking a stand for your kids, I was a single. What? You were a single mom in LO too? How have we not like crossed paths? We gotta connect. Okay, so, and then also the story. Hold on just a second. The story in your when you're doing your clothes, right? You want them to know, you know, of an example like I shared with you guys. So there's 2 stories you need, like the story of what you overcame, and then the story that of just a moment in time, like the time that I first sold out my program, and it was unscripted, and I was just doing what I'm teaching you guys, right? And that's what I want for you guys. That's what I want for other people. So that's what your story really is, you know, you need those 2 stories, the time that you did something that, you know, they want to do, and then the time where you overcame whatever you overcame that led you to want to share it and teach it. Okay. So then the other thing I want to talk about is, there we go, is seeding. All right. So seeding is referring to your offer. So my offer, one of my offers is my breakthrough group. And so I could say something in my training like, okay, step 1, know your why. In my breakthrough group, the first thing we do is get clear on your values. We get clear on your purpose, and we get clear on your personality style so that we can create a platform that you can stand on and build a solid business. That's seeding. I referred to the offer that I'm going to make at the end of the presentation in my training. So people are like, hi, I wonder what the breakthrough group is. Or, wow, the breakthrough group sounds awesome. Or, man, that breakthrough group sounds horrible. Whatever it is, I'm seeding it. And the right people are picking up what I'm putting down. And the wrong people are going, I would never do that. And that's what you want, because you only want people who resonate with you to say yes to your program. Brenda thought I was going to teach you how to organize the rooms, the seating. No, it's seating. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I needed to add that here. Let me just make a little quick title. Seating. Add title. Show. Yes. Sprinkling seeds of possibility throughout your presentation. I know, Barb. I don't know. That's just crazy. We have parallels. All right, guys. So, okay, good. It's 12:18. I have some time. I want to answer questions, especially on your why or your topic. How can I help you put together like what your talk might be, or any of these pieces that I've covered? I'm here, open, ask away. I'm going to look over here because I can't tell who's, as I've said already, I can't tell who's talking to me on VLive today. Any questions? I know it takes a minute to come through. La la la. There we go. Oh, you guys, also here, I got a couple things for you. If you want, I'm going to put a link in for my mini chat. If you want to get notifications of future trainings, here is a link to my messenger bot, which will send you a message before we go live. And if you guys want to talk to me about any of my programs or how I can help you, here is a link to talk with me. There you go. 2 gifts for you. Okay. How do I gather the audience to hear this great talk? That's an awesome question. How do you write your contract to work with you? Oh, that's another great question. Okay. How do you gather the audience? There's a couple of ways. You can pick up the phone and get yourself booked, like around town. So whatever your topic is, what's your topic, Holly? Type that in. Did you need to hire an attorney? Okay, we'll get to that. So for me, I pick up the phone and I call women's groups, entrepreneur groups, business groups, and I ask them if they need any speakers. And I was just talking about this yesterday. Here's the amazing thing. Most people, when they, you're looking to get some gigs, right? You want to get booked as a speaker. And so I set a goal to speak twice a week. And that's how I got good. I just spoke twice a week, anywhere, everywhere. And so you just call people and say, do you take outside speakers? And they'll say, well, yes, we do. We're booked out for a year, or whatever they say. And you just say, okay, great. I would, here's what I speak on. I would love to help you. So for instance, I might say to a women's group, awesome. Okay. Well, I'm passionate about helping women in business find success. So, if you ever need me, just let me know what you feel like would provide the most value for your audience. And I'll see if there's a talk that I can either put together or that fits with what I do, so that I can give them great value. Do you see what I just did there? I partnered with the person on the other end of the phone to help them fulfill a need that they have. I didn't make it about me. Here's what I didn't do. And I get this a lot from my podcast and people soliciting me. Hey, I'm Patty Keating. I have a #1 best-selling book, Soundbite, Soundbite, Soundbite. Would you like to book me? No, I wouldn't. Right? Drop the sound bites. Like, I don't care about your book. help me create a win for my organization. If I am the person who books speakers for an organization, help me out, would ya? Like, don't make it about you. Make it about me. And all of a sudden the word will get out and people will just like, and then you call. So Chambers is a great place to start, like especially for pretty much everything. Cause they have small business owners who always love education. They want to improve relationships. They want to get healthier. They want to improve their business. So they want to be more productive, whatever you're teaching. So I would call a chamber and somebody would book me. And then I'd call the next chamber and say, hey, Sue, I was just talking to Joe over at the Gresham Chamber about this talk we're doing that's getting really great results for people. And I wanted to make sure you knew about it too. Do you see my come from? Joe, I'm helping you out. I got this thing going on. Other people are saying yes to it. I wanted to make sure you knew too. All of a sudden they'll be like, oh, Chris is doing it over at Gresham. What's she doing? Right? Like tell me about it, Patty. Well, yeah, we could do that. Like, it's just this mentality thing. Have you ever been at like a department store and like looking at something and then other people come around and start looking? Like I remember a time I was at Nordstrom's, they were having a sale on, I think it was wallets. And I was looking, nobody's there. As soon as I start looking, this woman kind of looks at me and comes over, another woman. All of a sudden there's all these women like getting their wallet, right? It's our mentality. The same thing can be used in booking yourself as a speaker. Let them know that you're speaking to other places, right? Also ask for referrals, right? When you speak somewhere, say, who do you know that could get value from this topic? Not who do you know that will book me as a speaker? Who do you know that could get value from this topic? I love helping entrepreneurs create success. Who do you know that might need some help with that? So I'm making it about them. Okay, let me go back over here. I'm having a little trouble with the two stories for my own talk. My story is overcoming anxiety, and I will paint the picture of who I was to who I am now, probably to who I am now, and what changed for me to overcome it. My question is I'm not sure what the end story would be, or how's this different than my overcoming story? This is really easy. We're going to make this really easy. So you go to a moment when you overcame anxiety, you describe what was going on in that moment, and you describe what decision you made to create the outcome that you want for your clients. End of topic right there. Then at the end story would be, I don't know what your offer is, but I'll never forget the time that I overcame anxiety and created this result. And now it's time for you to do the same. Like when you say, and now it's time for you to do the same. Like I'm a coach, so coaches believe in their clients. They raise the bar and they say, I believe that you can be up here. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm saying, now it's your turn. And that's it. And that's how I end my talk. And people are like, oh, maybe I can do this. I think I might want to talk to her. Did you need a media package? I have a one sheet. I haven't given it out in a long time. You're supposed to have video. I've got lots of videos, but I don't have anything formal. I just talk to people. I connect with them. I come from a place of service. So you're not worried about getting paid for speaking. You focus on getting in front of people who would work with you. Yes. I've been paid for speaking, but it wasn't nearly as fulfilling to me as just getting in front of people who need what I can do. And it's just been tremendous. That's how I created a multiple six-figure business, like within the first couple of years, was just being of service, contributing, helping people. So how do you determine the depth of your talk, as in the sweet spot of not too heavy to get with the topic, but yet engage people's interest and curiosity? I go deep and direct, but sometimes that freaks people out. that need my help. Okay, well, just practice and see. Like, you can always, that's why it's so good to like just go start speaking. Commit to speaking twice a week. Like, I called a networking group in Portland and just asked her if she needed speakers. And it was the funniest thing. She's like, "This is Patty Keating?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "I've been following you on Twitter for years." I was like, "Oh." She's like, "I didn't know you were local." "Yes, I will book you as a speaker." Like, right? I just called and just asked. And then I practiced, right? So I would go to networking groups and just practice my talk. And when I went, sometimes, I mean, you just speak for 15 minutes. So I would outline my talk, do exactly what I taught you guys, shorten it down, and watch the audience. That's my point. Watch the audience. Really, that's how you're going to know. That's the answer to how deep do you go. Who asked that? I can't. Let me see if I can find your name over here. It only shows me like the last 5 comments. I don't think I can see it. But that's how you're going to know how deep to go. You're going to see when people go, "Oh no," and you're like, "Okay, I need to pull that back a little bit next time." So the answer to your question is practice. And now you can do it on Facebook, right? You can deliver talks on Facebook and practice there as well. Let's see. The building of you, understanding the journey of self-improvement. Okay, that's so cool. So what is the problem? I'm guessing that's the name of your talk. Building your journey, or the building of you, understanding the journey of self-improvement. So then I would say, if that's the name of your talk, what is self-improvement the solution to? What problem are they facing that self-improvement solves? That's your reframe, and that's going to be really powerful. Do you need to, contracts. Somebody was asking contracts. Here's the link. Somebody's asking about the link. I don't think you can click on that when it's listed there, but it's in the comments. I can pin it. How did I write my contracts? I have contracts that I share in my breakthrough group, and I got those. Yes, I got them from an attorney in 2005 or 6. And then I also have templates that I just got from the coaching industry back in the day that I still use today. But I did have like an attorney write, like for my higher ticket offers, the contracts. So yeah, you might do that. And then you can just use them again and again. We put it in Echo Sign or Adobe Sign and just change out the name. Let's see. You guys are all, me too. I thought that it was seating. Sit them in a circle. No. Let's see. I don't see too many more questions. How's our time? Oh, it's 12:30. Well, that was synchronistic. Oh, somebody just joined us. That's okay. I'm going to leave it up for like a week. So talks on Facebook count. Yes. It was me. I know, but I can't tell. Oh, Brenda. Oh, that's funny. Okay. That's okay, Joanna. I'm going to leave it up for a week. And Jacqueline, talks on Facebook count. Yes and no. Get yourself booked. Get in front of people. Get out there where they can really feel you. Yes, Facebook is amazing. You can do talks like this. But to really get good at speaking, in my opinion, be with people, because you're going to feel their responses, and it's going to help you really craft your talk and get great feedback. But yes, they do count. Speak. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. If you need help, reach out. I'm happy to give you 20 minutes of my time, see if you're a good fit for my breakthrough group or any of my programs. Or if you want, to get notifications of upcoming trainings. I'm moving right now. I just manifested this amazing new condo in Bird Rock. And so not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after, I'm going to start doing these trainings weekly. So if you'd like notifications, there's a link there for you to sign up for that. Do you have thoughts? Let me see what you're saying here. What? Let me see. Do you have any thoughts on the length of a good offer? 8 weeks, 90 days, 6 months? Okay, so when I first started, I did 3-month packages and programs, 90-day ones, and then I moved to 6-month, and now all my stuff is a year. And that's because that's how long it takes to make lasting change. And a lot of people, some people have been with me 5 years or more, right? They just keep moving along. So my question for you is, as the expert in this transformation or whatever you're providing, I can't tell who that was. What is your recommendation? Because a lot of times, like when I was doing 3-month programs, I'd get people to a certain point and they'd feel good, but they couldn't sustain it. Like they'd fall back down. So it's like, okay, I got to do 6 months because they need, and a lot of people would renew, but then, you know, eventually I saw the value of making a commitment long-term to the change that you're signing up for. So that's where I'm at now. Yes. Who's saying that? You're a brilliant manifester, especially with housing, right? Like a week ago, I was thinking, I think I'll move to a mountain somewhere and live by the lake and write all summer. Or maybe there's this membership I heard of that you can like travel around the world, entrepreneurs, like kind of like an Airbnb for business owners. Yeah, and then, oh my gosh, it's so much magic. I will teach a manifestation class, Brenda. Thank you. Like the very next day, I found this place in Bird Rock, and like I just called the guy, and the next morning it was mine. And now I have boxes and I'm packing. I'm moving Saturday. I'll keep you posted on Facebook. I've been showing videos. It's like crazy cool. Anyway, I'll do a class on that. I'll put that down on my list. You are welcome. Gina, how are you? I haven't seen you for a while. Carrie says, I haven't overcome my clients' problems personally. Oh, right. Okay. I'm not a writer trying to get the story out, but I can touch on past clients and what they've overcome and how they've, dang it, it just disappeared. Let me see if I can find it over here. The comment scroll, it only shows me 5 on Facebook. I think if I used my phone, that might work. But I think, Carrie, what you were saying is like, you're not a writer, but you stand for people either, I don't remember your number 1 core value because we did that work. Your stand is about connection or self-expression, right? So yes, that's a great point. You are a facilitator for that, and you can share your clients' results. And so what your stand is to get other people's stories in the world. Like there's something there for you, right? So the power of story or connection, it's creating connection. What is your number 1 core value? I don't see it right now, but yeah. So build your platform on that. You're right, and use your clients as an example of what you are providing in the world. Like you believe in connection, let's say, and so the best way for people to connect is through sharing stories, and you're gifted at editing and helping people get to the depth of the story in a way that resonates with the reader. That's your stand. Like we gotta get our stories to the people who need them. Like it's something like that. And that's what I'm committed to. And here's a few people I've helped. And if you have a story that you need to get in front of the right person, I'm your girl, right? Does that help? connection is number one. Yeah, I thought so. Trust and quality. Oh, that's right. Excellence was in your core values too. And trust. Okay, dig in there, Carrie. That's what your stand is. You stand for connection. You stand for helping people create trust through their writing. Excellence in their writing. Okay, guys. You're welcome. All right, guys, I am going to wrap up. Thank you for being here. This will stay up for about a week, and then we'll pull it down, and I'll keep you posted. Sign up if you want notifications of the upcoming training. You can also reach out to me if you want to see if I can help you with your speaking and your business. And other than that, just remember, be real, take a stand, and change lives. Bye for now, guys.